Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in today on this episode of Jimmy's Decorative Moment. I'm so excited to have you with us today. First, I want to thank our sponsors. Thank you so much to Glenn and Janice Williams of the Rosendale Arts Alliance. Without your support, we would never have started this show, and so I want to thank you for your continued efforts in making this a great program. Without further ado, I just want to introduce our guest, Molly Allard. Molly and I have known each other for a very long time. We actually got to know each other when she started working at Off the Vine Catering, and I immediately fell in love with Molly. I thought she was so funny, but she was also very professional and really good at what she was doing. And now she's at Stella Restaurant. I recently had to design flowers for a rehearsal dinner at Stella, and Molly was the contact there, so it totally blew my mind when she reached out to me via email and said, hey, I'm working with a client of yours, and I just need to touch base with you. And I was like, could this be Molly Allard after all these years? So I'm so excited to talk with her today. Molly, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Having me.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'm very excited
so how
to
is
be
everything
here.
going?
Everything is great. I've been at Stella now for almost 5 years.
Wow.
And I started there just kind of like part-time, and then I kind of took over as event captain. And then the manager who was doing the events left, and I wanted a little change in my schedule to not do nights anymore and not do weekends anymore.
Right.
So I took over as the full-time event manager. We have a great space. It seats about 90.
It's a beautiful space.
Yeah, it seats
it's
up to
really
90,
pretty.
Cocktail style up to 150. So it's a really great space, and it has two halves. So you can have a more intimate setting on one half. You can have a larger party if you want. You can do cocktail on one side, sit down on the other side. So it has a lot of variations you can do in the space, and I love selling it.
Hey, Molly, you know, it almost, so when you were talking about the space, it's like you could have a whole like lounge area
Yep.
too. Like let's say like someone was throwing a party and one half of it could be like a cocktail reception
Yeah.
with like pass hors d'oeuvres and the stations, and then the other half could be like a loungy kind of clubby
Yep.
space if you bring in the right furniture.
Bring in
and
the
things
right
like
furniture. We allow, we can get a temporary live music license.
Nice.
So if you want to bring in music and stuff like that, we've had little bands, we've had DJs, and just let us know. We get a temporary license for that night.
And you can do supplemental lighting
And you can do
too.
supplemental lighting. We have uplighting
Nice.
that we provide. We have some Christmas lights we can string and stuff like that. Lots of votives.
Oh my God.
And we have a fireplace, so it adds a little
Wait,
ambiance to it.
So listen, like, so how did you get started in this industry overall? Like, what were
So, long story. I actually have been working in restaurants for 20. I'm 42, so 27 years.
Wow.
I got my first job in restaurants when I was 15 years old. I was a bus girl at Sassafras. And it's something that I loved throughout anything else I did.
Where are you from?
I'm from upstate New York.
Upstate New
Tiny little
York.
town called
Okay.
Lebanon Springs.
Okay.
Through college, I had jobs in a restaurant, and I went to college at Potsdam, and I got a degree in art history. And after that, I moved home and was a substitute teacher and a cheerleading coach. And
Wow, a
oh yeah, I
cheerleading
was a
coach.
cheerleading coach, and I did all that. And I was like, well, you know, I'm living at home. Let's try something new. And I moved down to New Orleans. And actually,
This is what I remember.
Living in New Orleans is what made me fall in love with the industry, with the restaurant industry. It's like I worked at two of the best restaurants in the country.
What were they?
Brennan's and Mr. B's Bistro. Part of the Brennan's family, they own all the big restaurants down in New Orleans and Vegas, and I think Atlanta as well. They have a couple restaurants. And I was a lead hostess in one and a front waiter in the other, and I loved it. I loved the energy. I loved meeting people and talking to people, and I liked taking care of people. So I liked making their experience lovely. It's one thing I always say, you can make or break someone's night with your service. And I always want to make someone's night. They can come in having a bad day, you give them good service, they go away, they're happy, and that changes somebody else's life. Then maybe they're happy and they go and they talk to their kid and they're happy, and then they go talk to somebody else, and that it's like a chain reaction.
It's like a chain reaction, yeah,
You
of
know,
all this positive
of
energy.
all the positive energy, and I just loved it, and I loved the lifestyle, and I loved having days off when people didn't have days off. And so as I progressed, I kind of did everything. I've been a GM, I've been a dishwasher, I've been a hostess, I've been a waiter, I've been a bartender, and I decided to try doing the catering and doing events through that.
Was Off the Vine your first foray?
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
I had worked at a couple of different hotels. I worked at a Holiday Inn and stuff, and did caterator at the Holiday Inn in Saratoga.
Saratoga, New York?
Saratoga, New York. I
So
lived there.
back.
So I moved back, and I moved to Albany, and then I moved to Saratoga. In Saratoga, I worked at a couple restaurants where we had events, and it was always my favorite thing to do. It was always like plan the events and like set up for the events, and it's just such a different feel than a regular night service. So since coming to Stella, again with the great event space, we always did a lot of events, and I always captained them and ran them, and it just kind of got to, all right, let's try a new challenge. Let's just see how people who work 9 to 5 go, and try that, and I've loved it.
Wow.
I have loved every minute of it. I love planning parties for people. My 5-year-old niece asked what I do for a living, and I said I plan parties, and she said, "Oh, I want your job."
Yeah, it's
I
a
want to
fun job.
I want to plan parties. Like, it's a very stressful job, but at the same time, like.
Well, actually, you know what, Molly? It's funny, and I'm sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but it's funny because like when you're busy or and you're like doing so many things, for me personally too, like I can really speak for myself. You forget that that's what you're doing. Like you're involved with the designing of someone's party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Someone's event where they're all going to go and have a good time and celebrate. And it's like, that's an amazing gift, an amazing thing. And what a blessing for us to be able to do that for people. Like, because people are so busy.
Yep.
So to have people to like support them and help them plan their event, design their event, do all these things for them, it's just like, that's such a great thing, So.
Like it's one of those things. The majority of the time, every event I plan is for a joyful occasion. It's a party. It's a holiday party. It's a company party. It's a baptism after christening. It's after, it's a rehearsal dinner. We've had a few wedding receptions there for smaller groups. I actually did my friend Diego and Joe's. They work for the Columbus group and the Barbara Lynch group, and they got married and they had their wedding at Stella. And it was so much fun. And it's such a great experience to be able to give people like these moments of joy. And like, I love when we get letters back or we get emails back about what a wonderful time they had. And like, I always make sure to print it out and show it to the servers that did it. It's like, you guys did an awesome job. Thank you so much. Here you go.
How many events do you do a year?
So we are increasing our events.
Okay.
As far as like how many we do. So on average, it's, except for December, which is every day, on average, we did about 10 events a month. I have, since taking over, I've increased that. So like I tripled May.
Oh my God.
We had a couple days where we did double events. So we have 2 different rooms we can use.
Right.
So we did double events and stuff like that. And I booked out every day. And
oh my, congratulations, first of all.
It's one of those kind of things that like, we started with a smaller amount because it just somebody wasn't doing this full time. Somebody wasn't out there marketing and pushing.
You know what, Molly? Good for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you took the business and you ran with it.
Yeah.
You were just like, I'm going to own this.
I'm going to own it, and I love it. And it's like, and I think like loving what you do, you want to succeed and you want to make it better and you want to just push it and like see what the limit is that you can do.
So have you reached that limit? Like,
No. I haven't. I give myself 4 years and I'll be, I think, kind of at the limit.
Do you ever get tired?
I definitely. Like May, I was very, very tired in May. I didn't really have any days off.
What do you do when you're tired? Like, what is
so,
that?
So like my thing is, as we were talking about before, because you just got back from vacation and I'm going on vacation next weekend.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Denver to visit my friend for her 40th birthday.
Nice.
So I'm going to go out there, but it's one of those things you have to have something to look forward to. So I planned events for times that I knew there weren't a lot of parties booked. And I was like, all right, I look forward to this. This is something that I know I can do. So I'm gonna work my butt off now and just push through this. And then you have to have little things too as you go through. So I always get my nails done. It finishes.
Your nails are beautiful.
Thank you.
Even your toenails.
I get everything done because it finishes the look. Like you have to be polished and finished, and it helps you not look harried, like you're stressed out. So, and it's, for me, it's an hour and a half, once every 2 weeks. I don't answer my phone. I go get my nails done, and that's it. And then you kind of like, it's a little recharge, but it's just enough.
Yes,
That's like, okay, I can keep going through this.
Because I feel like you do need those recharging experiences, because otherwise you just get so depleted. And so when I went on vacation, I remember just like telling people, you know what, I just need like creative inspiration. Like I need to go to Europe to find inspiration. And, and I went by myself. And so when I got there, I first started out in London and then I went to Amsterdam. But in London, I saw the Tina Turner musical and I went to museums and I walked around a lot. And then finally I went to Amsterdam and it was one of the prettiest cities I'd ever seen in my life. And I was just like so enamored with everything there. And I went to like the museums there and I saw a musical in Dutch.
Yes.
And they had like little English subtitles on the screen. But that was really good. And it was one of the best performances I had ever seen. It was so good. But it was exactly what I needed. And I realized I have those moments of recharging too. Like, I'll get my hair cut, but like really like getting away, it not only does you a service, but it does like your clients a service.
Absolutely.
Because then you're fully ready to like, be creative for them and like give them what they need, which is like your service, and the best of you. In order to be the best of you, you have to take care of yourself, know? And
I also do like one day every 2 weeks, I don't answer my work emails. So that was yesterday for me.
You know what, Molly? And thank you for saying that because like that's such a terrifying thing for so many people. But I did that. I kind of did that yesterday. And I realized, you know what? Sundays are the best day to do that.
Yeah.
And if you don't respond to an email on a Sunday, no one is going
No
to
one's
kill.
gonna
No one's
care.
going to be unless you have an event that day.
Yeah,
It's the person.
right. Obviously, if you have an event that day, that's very different. But if it's like you don't have any events coming up, Sunday,
exactly. And why not? Why not just enjoy your Sunday?
And just enjoy your Sunday and have your day. Obviously, unless you have events, and that's it. If I don't have an event on Monday or that Sunday, I'm not.
And you know what's funny, Molly? On
I
Monday,
don't answer my emails.
Well, what
I
I
don't look at
realized
them.
too, it's like I remember thinking, oh, I could send a response to this, or I could do this, or I could do that. And when I woke up this morning. Today's Monday, folks. We're filming on a Monday. I woke up today, and literally, I got it done in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's like that whole day of kind of thinking, should I not, culminated in just like a 30-minute. And the reason I knocked it out so fast was because I was rested.
Well, that's the thing too. Like I go in Monday morning, I have a routine. I get into the office, I do some paperwork from the night before, and then I sit down, open up. I usually have like, a couple emails to answer.
Yeah.
But that's it. And then I do that, and that's usually done by lunchtime.
Yeah.
And then I go have lunch, I come back, and everybody's responded to my emails I sent out. So that's kind of how my Monday goes. If I was answering them over the weekend, I couldn't remember who I replied to, and I couldn't remember what I said.
It throws you off balance.
And it throws me off balance, and I just like having it, unless there's an event, my work is at my work, and my home is at my home.
And I feel like you created that balance.
Yeah.
Like you really created the balance so that if you were to go off that balance, it's like, your choice and your decision, but it does throw you off.
It throws you off so much. And I think a lot of it is having been in this industry for so long, I used to not have that balance. Like I was GM of a restaurant in Saratoga and I worked 7 days a week, all day, phone on all the time, answer the phone all the time. Like on my nights off, I would go to the restaurant across the street and like spy on them. If they didn't turn the lights on at the right time, I would call and be like, your lights aren't on. And they'd be like, take a day off. So I definitely have not always had that balance. And I think...
It's same for me.
But I think the older you get, the more you're like, no, I need to enjoy my life too. And I need to take time and, like...
It is about aging too.
Yeah,
it's about maturing.
It's about maturing and being like, okay, this has been great. I had a lot of fun.
But you also put in your dues.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And in this industry, it's like you put in your dues, you get recognition, you get experience, a lot of experience, and that's why you're able to kind of control the balance.
Yeah, you can now. I have much more control over my life, and when I can go do stuff. Before was like, there was never. I had to work and I had to do this, and like right now I only have 2 bosses, and that's fantastic.
That is amazing.
I have the general manager and the owner, and that's it.
I was gonna ask you, like, what's the
So I have the general manager of the restaurant, and he's my boss, and the owner is obviously everybody's boss. So that's it. That's nice. And
that is nice.
And that's and obviously the client's my boss too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how I feel.
The client is telling me, okay, this is what I want, and we have a couple rules in our restaurant it's different than a rental space.
I'm really happy you've gotten this.
Yeah.
Like I'm really happy you're where you're at because
it's been fantastic. It's been a fantastic experience, and I've been able to go all my niece's birthday parties.
Yeah.
And go on my trips and
And who would have thought?
Yeah, because it always was like, oh no, I can't. It's on a Saturday, I have to work, or it's on a Sunday, I have to work, and now it's like, okay, nope.
And now you get to spend.
Here's your BEO. I'm going. I'll see you later.
But the good thing about you too is you're good about like, you know, if you're there waiting for the client to arrive, to like at least greet them and things
Oh,
like that,
absolutely.
which is great.
Like that's
you know?
the thing too for any event, big or small. Unless I have to be
And
somewhere
trusting the people
else.
you're working with. Like you trust the people at Stella are.
The people at Allard are fantastic. The staff is amazing. There's a couple people that really do a lot of the events, and they're fantastic. But anyone there waiting and take care of you. It's an amazing service.
And the food is
And
so
the food is delicious.
good. The food is really good.
Lovely, you know,
How often do they
Italian.
change their menu?
No.
Never. Wow.
We tried to change it, and people got very upset. So we tried to change a couple dishes, and people were not pleased.
Oh, wow.
So we just went back. We just says, okay, we're just kidding. Here's this.
You know what? That's quite phenomenal because it's like you think about it, and it's like stick to what people like.
Yeah. Well, still, it's such
Yeah.
an institution. It's been there for 14 years in the same spot, and it just keeps getting better. And like
It does keep getting better.
And it's one of those things that, you know, especially I appreciate the owner and the general manager and the staff for this. Nobody gets stagnant. Like nobody like.
Well, look at you. It's like
we
you're
always
able-
have. Yeah, we always have like specials, like because we have the menu that we have, but we have phenomenal specials. Chef Mario and Chef Gio come up with amazing specials. You know, almost nightly.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so we do some really great promo things, and we keep it going. And I recently took over all the social media
Oh my
for
gosh.
it to
Really?
to keep it going more and like, all right, seeing which one generates more traffic, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, and like seeing where our following is. And turns out it's Instagram. So
Yeah, Instagram's it. Like
Instagram's
obviously, like
it.
I don't even my Facebook. I connect it to my Instagram.
Yeah,
So whatever post.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what I do for the restaurants. Just connect it.
And Instagram, people just the images. You know,
Yeah.
like we live in a culture where people just
Like
want
they
to
just want to see quick.
It's like
They'll be
quick consumption.
Oh, look
Ex-
look
yeah,
this, and like
yeah.
I try not to have like, and also you have to pay attention to like how much you're writing. Because you don't want these long. Nobody's going to read through where they have to hit read more or anything like that. Like they're not going to do it. So you just have to have a quick blurb. This is what we're doing. Done. And like so, it becomes one of those things that I try to talk to like a lot of the younger people that I work with too. And one of the things that I talk about is, you know, I've done this a really long time, and there's a couple things I've learned, and one of them is we're not saving babies. It's like we want everyone to have a lovely night. We want everyone to enjoy themselves. But we're not saving babies. So you have to learn how to relax and not be stressed out all the time. And like, this is just, it's a great job and it's a lot of fun. But we're serving pasta and wine.
Exactly.
And it just, and that also becomes part of the self-care is like, that's part of like the mental
Well,
health.
that's part of the mental health.
That's part
it's
of the
just
mental
like not
health,
like feeling
self-care,
like the
not-
world is going
yes,
to end if
yeah.
the flower is a lighter shade of this fuchsia.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
okay.
It's okay.
Like-
The world's not going to end. So like, you
It's
know.
the same thing in the flower world. You know, you can order product for an event,
Yeah.
and something might not come in. Like the hydrangea might come in dead, or
Yeah.
you know, anything could happen. There's so many variables, and it's just, you know what? If that happens, you substitute it.
Yeah.
You put something
And you
else in
figure
there.
out, but that's the thing too. I think it allows you to be more creative because you think, all right, and it's so much on your feet creative too. It's not like it's not like, oh, we'll write this out and then in a couple weeks we can figure it out. No, it's like, what am I going to do right now? And like, I really like that energy in that part of this world for any kind of event planning for a florist or like serving or even planning the event and captaining the event or bartending. Or
Have you ever wanted to cook?
I was a line cook once
Okay.
at Uno's.
Okay.
You know, I can cook. I can also make reservations.
Yeah.
So that is much more of me.
You like the behind, well, not sort of, but like the more like overall. The
Yeah,
more, okay.
the overall, like I love being in a kitchen. I love watching it work. Like I love watching the kitchen work and like the speed that they do it and like the energy that they have. And it's just, you know, it's phenomenal service and our kitchen pumps things out like you wouldn't believe. And everything's made fresh in house. So it's like, it's fantastic the speed at which they can do it. But you know, we have 3 prep guys there right now that cook all day.
Wow.
So that we can do it at night because it's fresh pasta. It's, you know, it's house-made sausage. It's the pizza dough and it's all the stuff that we all make in-house. So it has to be done all day, every day. And like the meatballs take all day to cook. The short ribs are a 7-hour braise on the short ribs. So it's like, it's something that has to,
That's amazing.
that takes a while to do.
And you know every menu item.
Oh yeah.
And you know how they prepare every.
Yep.
See, I think that's so admirable because I'm not the best with food, like knowledge.
Yeah.
And so no, like when people do have that knowledge, it's really impressive, you
Well,
know?
it's one of those things too that when I got into this industry and like when I lived in New Orleans and I started to really fall in love with it, I wanted to know as much as I could about every aspect and like the prep and the cooking and like bartending and like why you do an equal part, like something like a classic daiquiri is 1 ounce, 1 ounce, 1 ounce, and a Negroni is 1 ounce, 1 ounce, and 1 ounce, and it's like why is that like it? What changes the flavor if you go off a little bit and like everything in service comes down to just nuances, and it's the cooking and it's the drinks and it's the service. It's all these nuances, and I just loved it, and I love figuring it all out. And I think having learned the whole aspect, I have a much better grasp when I do plan parties on what we need for service and like what
Your
we need
clients must be so impressed.
for like all the stuff. It's like this is what we're gonna do for you, and it's just here's how we're gonna do it.
Can I
And
ask
it's
you, like, when you're talking to your clients about the food and the preparation,
Yeah.
are they impressed?
they are they
Because can
love
I be
it.
honest with you? I have worked with, like, I've produced events, you know, privately, and very few. I don't know that anyone ever said to me like, oh, this is how this is prepared and this is what we do, and like, I've had great experiences. But I think I would be very impressed if I had someone
Well,
who
it
was sitting
adds
there.
it adds to the sale of it. Like
Yeah.
it adds to the this is
Like I'm
you
like,
know,
wow, she knows exactly.
yeah,
what
that
she-
does,
yeah.
because I am in love with the product that I sell. Like I am in love with the restaurant and the food we sell and the service we sell, and I find it, I find it fantastic that I can share this with our clients and like and to improve, like it's one of those things like, and I want them to keep coming back. So I already have booked out 6 holiday parties. It's all return clients and then one and then 2 rehearsal dinners. It's all people that like have already contacted me like I know you book up quick. This is the date I want to reserve, and I sent a couple emails out to people like, hey, you always book this date. Do you want it this year? And it's like keeping track of that and being like, they're like, yep. So it's all booked out. I already have a week and a half already booked out for
Wow,
holiday
and
parties in December.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So it gets to that goal like every year. I want to book it out sooner and have it all done by October.
Yeah, have it done. So you're
Yeah.
like, okay, we're booked out.
Oh, we're booked
and,
out,
like,
and then so anytime the phone rings, sorry, we're booked out. But I have also gone around to other restaurant groups and hotels so that I could learn their spaces, so that I could also refer them. Like so,
Yeah.
I have this referral network. Like I apologize, we don't have the space, but such and such a place has a space for your party size, and then this can do your party size, and they could work within your budget. And so it's like it's going to all the other event planners in the city and having that network to.
Are you a member
to
of that
refer to-
organization's SRV?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
So,
Yeah.
so
Very
yeah, they're
good.
good,
Wow. Well, we're just about ready to wrap up. Molly, I gotta say thank you so very much for
Thank
coming on the
you.
show
It's
today.
good to
I really
see you.
it's
This
great
was
to
great.
see you too. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
I enjoyed it.
Thank you, honey. And I really look forward to you all tuning into our next episode. We're actually filming an episode with Capers Catering. Well, they'll be doing a cooking demo, so I'm very excited for that. Not only because I'm excited to interview them, but I'm excited to eat the food too, because I'm oftentimes so very hungry when we're filming the episode. So until next time, thank you for tuning in and have a great day. Thank you.